Alright guys, so starting off, the unarmed overlay only has one pose for all the characters now. Whenever you aim, the pose won't slightly change. I think I just wasn't making that change subtle enough for it to actually look decent. I think I was making it too dramatic and it just looked off, so I just went ahead and removed it. There's still a slot for it. It's just that I have the same pose set for both states. So anyway, you'll notice that for the UEFN, these look right. The rifle equip and unequip, I did his right, but I kind of messed up on the other ones, so I'm gonna redo them. I'm gonna go ahead and push this though, and those are just gonna be template animations until I fix the exit pose on them. They should have left that pose in the resting state, like I did for him, which is why his looks so decent. Also, I forgot to. So on all the other ones, I went ahead and switched them over to holding the barrel. On this one, I forgot to do that. So, yeah, but I did leave for a week and a half. So I didn't even touch Unreal for a week and a half because I had to go help somebody out, and then I had some personal things to take care of. But anyway, yeah. So we have interpolation too. So if I grab my flashlight, it won't just teleport into his hand, it'll interpolate into his hand. When I'm aiming down, it offsets his hands. I might, in the next update, make it so that you can't aim or you have to stop aiming momentarily, like for a quarter of a second before you can play those animations, and I may have the option to turn that off or on. Yeah, so ignore this. I forgot to remove it. I'll remove that. In fact, let me go ahead and remove it because I'll end up forgetting. Yeah. Let me delete it from here first. Sorry. I'll forget if I don't. And I'll go ahead and delete that too. So anyway, yeah, so it interpolates whenever they first get attached. I'll look into that. I'm not sure exactly why it's doing that. It shouldn't be doing that. As I'll explain to you later. So there was a problem whenever you were cycling through the rifles while holding aim. You wouldn't be able to fire. I fixed that. Also, you'll notice that now there's a slight offset or slight delay in the left gun firing, so that the projectiles do not collide with each other. My initial reaction was to just disable collision, which is actually what I did until somebody said, hey, why don't you just delay them? And I was like, okay, yeah, I guess that's a better idea. So that's what I did. And it actually sounds better too, like he said it, like he was saying it would. So, yeah. Let's see. There was something else too. I've made so many changes. I've done lost track of them, and I'm kind of zoned out today too. So I made a dedicated action gameplay tag for the equip back rifle. That way it's not sharing the same tag as the slot actor. I didn't want that to confuse people. So yeah, let's see. What have I covered? Right, the fix, the equip, and the delay there, and also the interpolation. as you can see there, whenever he's bending over. There was something else, and I can't even remember what it was now. Anyway, let me just move on. Oh, yeah, okay. I remember what it was. So, for him, he was actually the only one that I needed to do this for, but I made a pose driver for him that you guys can look at. This is what it looks like with the pose driver on. If I disable it, it messes up, it breaks the linked anim layer, or I would just show you what it looks like. But I posted pictures in the Discord, what it looked like before and after. If you are interested in how I did that, you can pull up his skeleton here. I don't know what just happened. And search for post process. And it should be right inside of the DAO folder. And I have everything expanded. It looks it looks bad. There's so many things in here. Yeah, so it's under the DAO characters twin blast folder. This is his post process. And this is the pose driver. This is the only thing I changed, I think. I don't know if I did that or not. Probably not. No, I didn't. So what this does is it scales the weapons down. If you don't do that, then if you don't do this, then his weapons will be right here and they'll be animated, and you don't want that. So this is the pose driver. Not a whole lot to it. So the source bone is the left hand. That's the thing we're looking at. And we're driving the lower arm twist 0-1 on his left hand. And that's the only one I made. So it's an additive. I set the radius to 50. It's pretty decent. And I have linear and twist angle. That's the only thing. Those are the only things I changed. And then I just assigned my pose asset. And then over here, I copied all from pose asset, and it created these for me. So if you browse to this, this was made from this. So the way this works is, I'll just briefly go over. Each frame is considered a separate pose. And so I just corrected the twist bone in the reference pose across different angles. So 45, 90, 135, and 180. As you can see. That's all I did. I didn't set that to additive or anything like that. You probably could. I think I did that at one point, but I didn't need to do that for this one. Pretty simple setup. So, moving on. Now let's discuss how this works now on this new system. So under the handling, under the debug, you'll notice that we have this. Oh yeah, you know what? Before I get into that, let me go ahead and show you this. So right now my aim offset debugger is disabled, but if I go into the DAO folder right here, and I go into the blueprints widget folder, and I say run editor utility widget. It'll open up a utility widget like this, and I can press this and it'll automatically enable that aim offset debugger, and then it'll fire it for you and it'll record the offset right here. So I've gone over this in previous videos. If you don't know, we have data assets for some of the characters that have offsets that are due to anatomy and retargeting. It's kind of a combination of IK retargeting and anatomy. So both of those get in the way, and there's offsets. So the end result is that you can just press this fire button and it'll give you the exact offset that you need to correct it by, and you can copy that, and then you can go over to the other field and you can just paste it. So I'll actually just go ahead and briefly demonstrate that for you real quick. So I'm just going to open up one of these. So this character right here, their held object settings right here, which is assigned inside of here. And inside of this, I have some live retargeting settings. So the aiming one, I would reset that, and then I would paste it. I would reset it. Let me just go ahead and go through the full process. So this is actually the female. Female medium overweight. And it's actually her rifle aiming. So you'll see there's an offset there because I messed it up. I zeroed it out. And in actuality, right now I have breathing enabled. So what you would actually want to do is go under the UEFN folder. No, the shard data folder, linked anim layer, guns, rifle, and this one right here. Ignore this. This is a child version. And then you would disconnect this right here. Let me actually show you. So under the animation layers, under this overlay state, and this right here, you'll go to the aiming and you'll just disconnect that. All right, yeah, sorry. So I'm actually modifying the male over here. I thought I was modifying the female for some reason. I don't know why I thought I was modifying the female. This is the male medium overweight character that I was trying to modify. Yeah, this guy here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zero him out. And then I'm going to fire the gun. And you'll see the blue is showing a little bit up and off to the left. So I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to press shift and left click. Or you can right click and paste. You'll see it says shift plus left mouse button. That's how you paste it. Now when you're copying it from here, you actually just have to manually select it and copy. Or you can press click in there and then press Control A and then Control C. But yeah, anyway. So if you fire again, you'll see that we have very small offsets now. And that's good enough. Now I've already adjusted his hand placement. Those and also these characters do not have these template mocap metahumans. They don't have those post-processing volumes assigned to them, but you can assign the one that is assigned to the killing guy. He already has one assigned to him. As you can see, his wrist is not collapsing. He does not have any offsets because those poses were actually made for his body type. So that's the reason why I don't have to correct his. I don't have to correct the hand placement for him because of that. So anyway, now that I've got that out of the way, now let me just go ahead and cover the actual management of this system. So if you go into the gun, and you can go into any of them, just right click and say edit BP and select the AC held object master. And under handling here, well, you'll see under debugging, you can check this right here. And what this is for is if you need to adjust your held object offsets during runtime, then what you need to do is you actually need to come into your gun, and you actually need to enable this debugger. And what this does is it actually makes sure that the tick is enabled. It'll make sure that the tick is enabled, and it'll constantly update that from the data asset itself. It'll offset it. So the offsetting of things is now taking place inside the held object master and no longer on the character. And it offsets it itself relative to whatever it's attached to. So if that's not, if that debugger isn't enabled, then by default what happens is whenever we need to interpolate, it'll turn the tick on, and then it'll start interpolating. And then after it's done interpolating, it'll turn the tick back off. And that just ensures that this isn't ticking constantly for no reason at all. Also, it prevents this from being a problem as well, this right here. So anyway, over here under the handling, the equip, and you have this for the holster as well, but I'm not using those right now. And then you have this attached stuff. These are the things that have changed. So this right here and this right here used to be up here at the top. It's under this right now. And so is this attach ID. That attach ID is actually only used in one place. I made it a variable so that you guys could be more informed as to the fact of what I'm doing here. So, and I'll get into that here in a second. We still need to verify which what the attach name is for which hand, so that I'll know which hand to attach what to. So if he's dual equipping two pistols, then he might grab the left pistol and then the right pistol, or he might grab the right pistol and then the left pistol. So I want to make sure that things happen in the proper order and that I'm handling the right hand properly, the correct hand properly. And that's the reason why I need to know this information. Under here, if you hover over this, you'll see it says the slot actor ID. That's the key, and that's the ID that's been assigned to that holster. And then the value is the action ID and the attachment details. So our action ID, that's the ID that you assigned the montage within the data asset. So if I open this up here and I go into this guy and I just open up his stuff here, you'll see we have this map of montages, and their keys are their action IDs. So the action ID of this one is dao.action.weapon.equip.back.rifle, and that's how I identify it. I look it up via this, and that is what this action ID is for. It allows me to look up that montage. So this one, I made sure to know order matters before, first and foremost, so that you guys know order does matter. Because if this is going to play in reverse, then I need to reverse the attachment, or I need to reverse all this data so that this data is assigned to this one and this one is assigned to this one. Because we're actually playing it in reverse, the Anim notify names are still going to be the same, but they're going to be fired. We need things to happen in the opposite order. So, yeah. So on this one, when he grabs with this left hand, we do not want it to interpolate to 0. we want it to attach to the left hand, and we want it to keep the world. Now for the right hand, we want it to interpolate to 0. And when this is played in reverse, what this does is it makes sure that when we attach it to the back, it's interpolating to 0. This is our interpolation speed. If you use the algorithm 6 divided by the time that you want, for example, a quarter of a second, 0.25, then this will make sure that it interpolates over roughly a quarter of a second. Now the socket name of this one needs to be attached. And the reason why is because inside of here, whenever the montage is playing, whenever we capture this notify name, what we're going to do is we're going to look up the action data, and then we're going to see, hey, if this socket name is attached, then we need to handle the attach event. Otherwise, we're just going to do a normal attach right here. Whereas these other attaches, they have to attach it to the holster name, or this one has to attach it to the attached socket name. And if you're wondering where that's at, it's over here on the character under the AC slot manager. You'll see the holster socket name and the hand socket names right here and right here. That's where this stuff comes from. So if I come over here to one of the live retargeted characters, let me just open up this one, and I select the AC slot manager, you'll see that theirs is called held object _L, because on theirs we're attaching it to a socket, but on this one we're attaching it to a bone that I animated. So that's what that attach is for. It verify that's going to this and this need to match up for these. Now actually I could have actually just handled that differently, you might think, but actually I couldn't, because if I play this in reverse, then this attach is actually going to be under the hand L pass. So when the hand L pass fires, it's actually going to have the socket name attached, and it's going to have the interpolation settings and all this other stuff. Okay, so that's how that works. And if you're curious as to how I'm actually handling that on the back end, under master handling montage, this is what's allowing us to play those in reverse. And I'm just getting this right here, and I'm just reversing it, and then I'm assigning that back to these without changing the actual socket name. And then we're playing the montage in reverse. Yep, and that's basically it, I believe. I'm sure I'm probably forgetting something. All right, yeah, so sorry. Before I go, I just wanted to show you what these look like. I didn't show them to you. So that the way he goes from holding it to the right to bringing it back into the left as he's coming out of that, I don't like that. I'm going to fix it. And there's something weird going on with his head right there too. I don't know why it does that. It might have been an oversight on my part whenever I was making those. Anyway, these are just rough drafts, so I'll fix that. It's not really that big of a deal. I'll get those fixes in by next weekend. And yeah, that's whenever you're moving, you can't even really tell. Honestly. Yeah, see, you can't even really tell when he's moving. It's just when he's sitting still. but still, I'm going to fix it. I just wanted to let you guys know that, and that was what I was telling you about. I chose a bad pose to have them come out of. I guess I wasn't thinking right after I came back off of that time off. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.